Hi, everybody. This is Kathy Pike from the Academy for Coaching with Horses, and I wanted to share a card from my Horse Wisdom Oracle card deck. If you have not picked up this deck, it's really amazing, but I wanted to share a card with you today that I think is going to be actually really profound for you. It's a kind of a little bit of an intense card, so I want you to be prepared for that. But before I get to that, I also want to remind all of you who are listening and watching that fall's coming up. Back to school we go. And I've got my EFLC Level One course starting at the end of the month. And I would love to see you participate in that if you're seeking to learn all the steps and processes and understanding of how we connect horses with humans for the human to grow spiritually and emotionally and on so many different levels. So I'll be launching that program at the end of this month, August. And you'll work with me for 10 weeks online, and we meet weekly for mentoring calls. It's a really amazing experience. And I like the online now so much because you work directly with your horses right away. And you also work directly with your community right away. And it starts to build your relationship with your horses change. It deepens, it expands. It's amazing what people tell me happens with their horses. And then, of course, you start to bring in people, your friends and acquaintances, to have an experience of the work, and then they start to tell other people. So it's really different than coming on site. You really maintain your focus with your herd and what you're doing. And we share on the mentoring calls. So that's a lovely experience too. So anyhow, I'm kind of dragging along here, I guess, to a certain degree. If that's something that you've been looking at, though, I really encourage you to step up and to take action on that and to experience it this fall. I am running a special right now and would love for you to be part of the group. And I think as you listen to this card and you think about the life that you're leading and the life that you've grown into, and then also look at maybe the life that you're wanting. I know many of you have watched me step more into my artwork, which I was just painting. Actually, you can see some of my paintings back there. I'm just recently working on. So I'm combining my love of horses with painting, and that's been an area since COVID that I've stepped into more deeply. And I think that if we want to live an authentic life, we have to listen to the calling that is within us. So without me saying more, I want to go to the card that I picked for us to work with this week. And I'm going to actually pull the image up on the screen so that you can see it. And hopefully you can see that. Oh, yeah, see that fully on your screen. Oof, this is a powerful card. And yeah, I mean, the card says so much already. But let me read to you what came through when I wrote what this particular horse wanted to tell us. And this horse I named History. And his message is release the burdens of past conditioning as a workhorse. Throughout history, horses have been workhorses for humankind. Horses have carried humans into battle, plowed fields, pulled wagons, and willingly allowed themselves to be used for sport. They have conformed to what people have wanted them to be. They chose service and compliance over independence and having a voice, often because the latter was much too costly. Horses and herds care for each other and contribute to the whole. It is the only way that they thrive. Yet, as humans, if we continue to be of service and become what others want us to be, we can become a workhorse. And eventually lose our way from our authentic selves. The load becomes too heavy to continue to carry. Your elders likely told you how to be a good person. You were conditioned, just like a horse, to be who others wanted you to be. And you may have conformed to their wishes and demands as it was easier than resisting. Your history and past actions may no longer be true for you. Today might be the time to review how much longer you wish to be a workhorse or to do what others desire of you, and instead break away from your conditioning and be who you want to be. And I want to say that the conditioning for humans can be that we always do XYZ, that we're always nice, that we always give what we have, that we don't speak up if it's going to create waves, that some of our conditioning might be that we have to work hard all day in order to make ends meet. Conditioning goes so deep and it's so connected to your history, to your family of origin, to the beliefs of your parents and their parents and their parents, beliefs that we've taken on without even thinking about it. And they run our life and they keep us small. They keep us confined. They keep us in a small life because for many generations, the small life was the safer route. So history, this beautiful workhorse, is here today to open you up and to ask you to look at what is your conditioning and what is your authentic self. So the questions that this beautiful horse history would like for you to reflect on this week is, excuse me, please, what aspect of your past might you want to recognize as conditioning? And remember, the conditionings are our beliefs, the way that we think about the world. The conditioning is how we automatically respond to things. Our conditioning might also be how we see the world as far as what right and wrong is. Conditioning is everywhere. It's so much a part of us until we decide to start to break it down. The second bullet point or question that this horse has for you is, when have you allowed the demands of others, life, or family to shape you? And I would encourage you to look at, when do you put other things before your passions, your desires, your authentic self, your authentic creation, expression? The next question is, have you learned to be a workhorse, and has that created a burden for you? Where do you take on being over responsible or caretaking others or being what others want you to be? That's what this whole card is about. Look at this workhorse, the old wagon behind him. He's got all this strappings, right? Like he's just conditioned to be this horse, to be of service to others. Might not be who he truly is in his very spirit and soul. And the last question is, when might you conform and become compliant instead of speaking up for yourself? So important. I feel really compelled to read that again. When might you conform and become compliant instead of speaking up for yourself? And we might do this in relationships in order to maintain the status quo. We might do this with our clients so that we don't lose our clients. Like there's nothing worse than being a coach and being scared to really speak the truth because you're afraid that you're going to lose your client. It's actually the job of the coach to help bring truth into the conversation. But as human beings, we often will take the safer route. Instead of creating waves which could bring hardship to us in the moment, we will choose the safer route. And this card is saying it's time to stop doing that. It is time to break free of your history. It's time to break free of the conditioned self. It's time to take the chances. Take the chances of showing up authentically and listening to your heart's calling, listening to where your passion wants to take you. We're all getting a little older, and don't wait. Don't put it off, because before you know it, tomorrow becomes 10 years and we wonder, what have I done? Well, how much time do I have left? And it's important to go for it. Go for it. And those of you who know me know that I'm the type of person that has really gone for it a lot of times in my life. And I will tell you that it has not always been the easiest route, but the growth and the experiences and the richness has always been worth it. Even when I've gone for it and I may have viewed something that I've done as a mistake. It's never really a mistake, it's growth. It's all growth. But if we stay in the conditioned, doing what others expect us to do, doing it exactly as they expect us to do, doing what we think is going to get us approval, acceptance, then we stay in our history. We are this horse on the screen. We are the horse that has conformed. And as many of you know, this work that we do with horses, expanding our authenticity, expanding consciousness, is about working with the horses in their true nature. Nothing is on them. There is no gear on them. They get to be truly who they are, not a conditioned horse, not a horse that's been told how they're supposed to show up. So, all right, that's your project for this week. Look at your conditioning, start to look at where you're not allowing yourself to really show up. And let me go ahead, hold on for just a minute. Okay, great. So thank you for joining me today. I hope that this card was helpful for you. Please do share below any comments that you might have. And again, look at the calendar. If you want to come in for the level one, that's happening right now. So sign up for, go to the level one page, fill out the application. We'll have a conversation, see if it's a good fit for you. And if it is, then you will be stepping so beautifully into your authentic path with horses. So, all right, everybody, have a great week. Thanks for joining me today. Bye bye.